Hello, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, garden? I think I better soak my feet tonight because my feet are hurting. For some reason, walking around in the garden. Okay. I am doing very well in my garden so far, um, and I feel pretty good about that. And that feels good. I went out into the garden today, and I found a spot for my grapevine, which is right next to a apple tree. I wanted to grow up and through the apple tree. I got that idea from food forest permaculture. I give credit where it's due. Some people won't do that, but I'm not one of them. I'm going to give credit where it's due. Food forest permaculture said use the tree as a support for the grapevine. So I did one like that today. I'm going to do probably one or two more of a different variety grape, but I have um, the single pole system. You've seen that in some of my videos if you want to go back and look at them. Single pole system where one grapevine per poles, 3 feet apart. It gets kind of tangled at the near the end of the season or the middle of the season because the grapevines start really kicking off. But all in all, it's not too bad. But I got out there today and got that dug in. I said I'll get some sleep before work. But it was just beautiful, folks. It was beautiful. I got all that done. What else? The cantaloupes, the watermelon, all looking good. But I go out there every well when it's time to feed, and I put down liquid organic fertilizer. People could use urine. Uh, they could use all kind of. Hey, hello, how you doing? All right. Good to see you. Good to see your picture. One day they're gonna have these where you can have the people actually in the room while you're getting your message across. But as I was saying, you could use urine. You could use the fertilizer that I make, which is grass clippings and weeds. But you're gonna have to strain the hell out of it so it don't clog the system up. But what I did is I'm out there and I said, wait a minute, you're planting too much stuff right now. You got a lot of plants going on. You got the collard greens, kale. You got the potatoes. You got you got these grapevines. You got these fruit trees need to be watered. You need to come up with a better system. So I looked down in my toolbox and I found this that I had for a few years. And this is the G36-2. G36-2. And all I'm going to fill it with is organic fertilizer. You can use it whatever you want in here. Some people actually use Miracle Grow or other kind of liquid fertilizers. You can use fish emulsion, bada 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 boom, bada bang, and you could do this and have a very successful garden. It helps out a great deal. I'm not selling the product or anything. It's just been in my toolbox. I found it in there. Okay, so all instructions are in here. Well, no, it's some instructions. Uh, it's written in all different languages, and it says professional all-purpose sprayer with meter dial. It's got all the stuff up here. It looks kind of old and antique-ish, but it should get the job done. I've used these before, but mine was in the form of back in the day a Miracle Grow sprayer. I used it to the wheels fell off. You know what I'm saying? Some of you know what I'm talking about. They used to give you the sprayer with the chemical that you used to use, which I no longer use because I don't want to kill my soil and also kill my plants. Because Miracle Grow will tell worms to take a hike. And you've seen in my last video, my video I just made, I have a lot of worms now in the garden. And all of that's coming from chop and drop, chop and drop. That's where it's coming from. I never had that many worms before. Well, back in the day when I had the wood chips, that was good. I had the worms in the garden, and now I have the worms in the garden. And I'm no longer using the wood chips, not using them anymore. I found out why would I want to take all this effort, haul it, getting a tree service person in, dumping 10,000 pounds of wood chips. Then I got to move them, which takes about, me by myself, it takes about 3 weeks to move them with it. And I had a tractor. I don't even want to think about it. But this right here is what I'm using now to fertilize because I have too many things to water with a one single water can. And I'm trying to do it and trying to keep up, but it's getting to be tedious. So here's what will happen. This will be hooked up to a pump, which is an on-demand pump from SureFlow. I like that pump. I don't think I'll buy anything but a SureFlow. Okay, so you get the SureFlow out there, a 12-volt system hooked up to a battery. I use it. What kind of battery is that? Same kind of batteries in a golf cart. I can never think of the name of it. It's called a deep cycle battery. Deep cycle battery. So I hook that up. That'll run for weeks without charging. But I like to keep it charged so I get the maximum amount of my pump is a 100 psi pump. That's the one I like. We got a 60, they got a less, and But I use that particular pump because I like it because with 100-foot hose, it'll shoot all over the yard any kind of way. It's got good pressure on it, and that's what I like. Anyway, this gets hooked up next. It's got a dial on the top. Can't really see it. It's got a dial on the top that you set and to what your needs are. So that's how that works. So this is very exciting. Let me see what I got here. Okay, so it's a lightweight. It's lightweight, that's good. And you take that open. Okay. You put that back on after you put your solution in. It's got all the measurements here. All the measurements to what you're trying to do. You can't really see that, but you get the idea. We screw that back on. It's got a directional tool here that helps to aim it left or right, up if you want to go under the foliage, or you want to just shoot straight ahead. You got all of that. So that's how that works. So you got the hose in, it fits in there with the rubber gasket so it doesn't leak all out while you're working with it. This feels okay. My hand is kind of big for this, so it's kind of shoot it for big and small. So that's how that works. And then you set it. I know where I'm gonna set mine at. There you go. Set mine on 1. Because if I set it on 1, I got the advantage of not burning anything up or killing anything or keep constantly refilling it. Yeah, so that's how that's going to work. Let me see something here because something's not right. I'm missing something here. I keep thinking I'm missing a part. Okay, so you take this, this comes off. You could actually set it. It's a little piece that goes in here that sets it from teaspoons to tablespoons. So you know how that works. And then you put that back in. It's got a little screen on the end here so that if it ever keeps it from getting clogged up. Sometimes these things will get clogged. Okay, so that looks good. So here's the piece here. They screw it into the top here. You take this out, you put it inside this tube, and that will change how much comes out, whether it's tablespoons or. But I don't want to. I don't want to do all that changing. I just want to leave it like it is because I'm not in a hurry to do anything faster. So the teaspoons work fine for me. I don't need to do anything else. But this is good. This is going to be my next tool. You may see in videos doing what I got to do. But there will be always organic fertilizer put in here. Another thing I want to suggest to some of you out there, don't forget your Epsom salt. Don't forget that. If you have, especially if you have fruit, don't forget it because some of your fruits are going to need to be really, if you really want them sweet, like peaches and apples, you're going to want them to be sweet, sweet, sweet. Um, my soil is, let me just say this to you folks, my soil is the best soil I have seen in a very long time. Good day to you as well. I just mentioned your name in the beginning of this video. I was telling them that I put in a grapevine today, and I put it right next to the apple tree. Made it very clear that the idea came from you because um, I had no place to put it. I found a very sunny location. I put the grapevine right next to the tree. It's going to grow all up through the tree and go from there. So, you know, that was awesome because I mean I found a place to put it. Because at first I didn't know what to do with the grapevine. I said, okay, I got a great deal on this grapevine. It was $1. Um, so what do I do with it? And then I found out that I could put it next to the tree. Information you gave me that time on one of the chats that we had in here. Also, I've been showing them this here, which is it's getting really a lot of work to water all of these plants. So I'm using this here. It was in my toolbox, had it for a few years. And this is going to be used to cut down that work. I have a on-demand pump. I have, that I save rainwater, and it's going to help me out immensely when I start using that. But I'm not really worried about running out of rainwater because I never have ran out of rainwater. But I'm going to tell you like this: my plants are beautiful, beautiful green. My plants are doing quite well. I'm very happy with what I'm getting because of what I'm doing. I'm actually visiting my garden every single day. I'm out there. I'm looking around. I'm looking for anything. Oh, and here's what we got here. I want to know something here. Peaches are getting big, but I noticed that I'm getting some bug bites on the peaches, and I'm shopping around now for a solution because I don't want to do what I did last year, which is the few peaches that I did get last year to have them all bug bite up, bitten up, and everything, and basically turned a ton of peaches into trash. I don't want that to. Neem oil. I have neem oil. I have neem oil. You just saved me from going out. See that? I've said this before. Two heads are better than, and that's the deal. Two heads are better than one. Because I had the neem oil right now sitting right downstairs now. I think I used it once, something like that. But yeah, thank you very much. That's what I'll use. We got a little bit of rain coming tonight, hopefully. Because I didn't go out there and water anything today. I kind of feel bad about that. But I was out there feeding. I tell people, my neighbors, I say, I'm going out to, they see me with the weed whacker or the weed trimmer in my hand. And they say, oh, you already cut your grass. I said, yeah, my grass is cut, but in the back of my yard, I'm going to fertilize my plants. They said, what do you mean you're going to fertilize your plants with a weed trimmer? I said, I cut down my weeds. I cut down the long grass in the back, and it lays on the soil, and it creates this beautiful black soil. And also, this beautiful black soil creates all these worms. And I'm telling you, folks, if you look at my last video that I just made, just put out, it has a ton. I'm gonna say this like this: I use a manure fork to basically lift my soil up or to loosen my soil up before I put my plant in. So I'll have a plant that's in a cup that's about that big around, maybe 4 inches, maybe 3 inches around. I'll create a loose spot in the soil that's about a foot and a half across. And I do it all with the fork. Now, once I do it with the fork, I take my hand and gently just grab up all the weeds and grass. It'll just come up. You don't have to pull it or anything. And that's what I'm showing you in the video. You're not pulling it. You're not yanking and fighting with weeds. It comes up, you shake it loose, and then you take the weeds and just set it down, root side up, on a different part of your soil, and let it rot down. Okay, thank you, because I was wondering about that. Even when I was thinking about doing what I got to do, I kept wondering about that. I kept saying, wait a minute, I wanted, because they're all fuzzy and everything, you get that oil on them, you know. I was thinking about that. But thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. The and the trees are loaded with peaches. And like I said before, that was starting out the prep that I did in the spring with the fertilizing directly at the root, and I showed some videos on that. A technique that I use to get the fertilizer right down to the root, and without waiting, without going, oh, is it good? Is the rain going to wash it away? Am I going to get the fertilizer down there? No, it goes right straight there because I drop in what I'm going to drop. Um, and then I saw what happened. Everything I did that with bloomed incredibly. It just bloomed. And I said, yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. This is what I like, results. Um, so in the fall, I'm going to get four more apple trees. Four more apple trees because apples are incredible. Um, but these are going to be done where they're going to be about 6 inches apart. 6 inches apart. Done my research, and that's what I want to do. 6 inches apart. Um, I'm going to, uh, get the same apple trees that I have now, which is the Granny Smith, the Fuji, and also the what they call this apple. It's called Honeycrisp apple. I will always have Honeycrisp apples because I fell in love with the apple when I first started eating them. It was just my favorite apple. So at any rate, that's what I'm going to do. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. And this tool right here I just showed you, the sprayer is going to make everything a lot easier. And it's called the G362 hand hose hand sprayer. Great little device. Hello, how you doing there, Mr. Lead Farmer 73? We were just talking about me using this tool, and then we went over the grapevine that I planted today. Um, so I have one grapevine that is a huge white grape. That grapevine is going to be um, that grapevine. Let me get it right now. That grapevine is going to be. I'm gonna take some cuttings from it because I'm not gonna run out and buy another grapevine for $12 plus shipping. I'm not gonna do that. When I have one at home, that the only problem is it's a little small, so I got to grow it up. And then when it hit the fall and winter, then I take my cuttings and stick them right down next to the tree, and it just grows right from there. And that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I need to find a way. I have the Isaiah kiwi. I have tried everything I know to get a cutting to grow from it, and I have been unsuccessful. I have tried. It's a real right now. It's growing right now. It's in the season where it's growing real rapid. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try one more time to take some cuttings off, put them in some water, and see if I can get something started. Put them in a shaded area and see if I can get them started because they are not. It's like you put them in there and then they die. They won't root for some reason. I might be doing something incorrect. Let's see. Just uh, oh, thank you. He's just chilling out watching the morning gardener. I have. You have a surprise for me. All right. Hey, look, I gotta say this to you, Lead Farmer 73. I thought about what you said, and I think I will keep those cherry trees. 'Cause they're incredible. They're healthy. They're beautiful. Um, and I'm just going to just take a little bit more time and try to find out um, what cherry tree actually will in fact grow, and what that will make with that tree and cause me to get some more cherries. Because I need not to throw away the trees, but I want to just get them to produce, and so that's how that works. Let's see, man. Oh, that's great. That is great. That is great. Oh, and the one that I bought, I think well, I paid too much for it. I paid $6 for it. Um, I paid $6 for it. I should have. Oh, the cherry tree is a God. I think it's called a tortellini. Tortellini, I think it is. Because the one I have that's a Bing. I don't know what's up with the Bing. The Bing always produce cherries. It crosses with my neighbor's cherry bush that's across from me. It crosses with that, no problem. But these cherry trees, they produce these big, beautiful blossoms early, and then they fizzle out before anything else comes out. Now, the other cherry tree I have, I don't know the name of right now. I can get it. I can get that name, but it is a young tree, and it should be blossoming next year. So, oh yeah, a Stella cherry is a pollinator all of the fruit. Oh yeah, I remember that. I had one. Wait a minute, a Stella. Yeah, I had a Stella once. Wait, let me see something here. Stella cherry pollinate all of your cherries. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, because I had a Stella, and I remember when it died. I had the Stella, it died, and I was like, dang, I wanted that Stella. So the Stella, oh, that's right. When I bought the cherry trees, I now remember. The lady told me the Stella will cross pollinate with the tortellini and also she called it the Bing. Thank you for reminding me. That's right. She did say that. She did say that. That's why I bought the Stella. And when it died years ago, I never replaced it because I kept thinking, oh God, these trees are big. I don't have room for this. And yeah, it was a Stella. Huh. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. Now, let's see, honey and lemon. Um, I wish I could grow lemons, but not in this cold climate. This climate is cold. When it gets in the winter, it can get down to sometimes 9 degrees. That's the only thing I don't like about living in such a cold climate. But all my apple trees, and they survive every year. They don't even. Yeah, you could grow them if you take them indoors and bring them out and indoors and bring them out. I guess you could do it. Um, but I always wanted lemons because lemons are just let's see. I used to grow them in. Oh, okay. Well, what kind of lemon did you grow in that cold climate? Meyer. And I'm gonna tell you what I just did. Now, when you grew them in Ohio, when you grew them there, did you have to take them inside and bring them out, and inside and bring them out? Did you have to do that in containers? Oh my goodness! Wait a minute, y'all, you two done started something. You two have definitely started something. Bring it in and set it by the water heater. Hmm. Hello, how you doing? Oh my goodness, I gotta look into it because look, I went up to it was a store called Home Depot, and they had some tropical fruit up there. I mean, fruit plants, and it was just crazy because I kept looking at it, going, "Should I try it? Should I not try it? Should I try it? Should I not try it?" I just wasn't sure. And you're saying that you grew them in a very cold climate, and they did well. That's interesting. You got me thinking there for years. Yes. Oh man, if I get some lemons growing, that would be just crazy. Um, yeah. Thank you. Lemons, Meyer. Distant lover, lover, lover. Mm, good music, man. That's good music. Oh, let's see. Okay, now I want to ask all of you while I got you online. Why is it that the apple called ambrosia is so hard to find? I have called Stark Brothers, got them on the phone, and said, what is going on with this? Do you sell ambrosia? They said no. And she said it real abrupt, like I said something wrong to her. But I said, I have admired women for 2 years in containers and have to give it away when it became home. Oh, okay. You had to give it away. Okay, when you had problems with housing. Okay, a lot of people will not tell you that they ever had problems with housing. I was one of those people years ago. I remember that. I remember. I've been there. It'll make you or break you. It'll make you tougher. It'll make you tougher. It definitely will make you tougher. Um, I say feel them. I say, but I want to thank everyone here for the input that they've given me today because it's just, oh, me too. Me too. So you've been there. You've been there. Let's see, oh, you saw them there. I'm going to look for them there. Thank you. Ambrosia. Because, I mean, I don't know if I would add it to, but it's got my curiosity up. What does this apple taste like? We all been there. Okay, Lee Farmer said we all been there. Because I'm telling you, some people, I've never had a problem in my entire life. It's been quite the journey. They won't tell you that, look, real for real, stuff has been deep. If you go and you check some people's past, it's been deep. I said, we've all been there. Yes. Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, shoot. I had an Oldsmobile that slash was a hotel slash Oldsmobile, and I still went to work every day. I see. Very nice apple ambrosia. Tastes very fruity. Oh, but is it crisp? See, I must have an apple that is crisp. If it's mushy or milly, I can't eat it. I can. There's an apple, and I want to take nothing away from anybody's apples in this room. They grow on. It's called the red delicious, and then you got the yellow delicious. It's an old apple. Oh, he said very crisp. Thank you. Ambrosia. The top selling apple right now, and you call me on it if I'm incorrect, but I gotta say it, folks. The biggest dog in the woods is the Honey Crisp. Ambrosia is a very good. Only had a couple before. Now, okay. Now, if I got the ambrosia, I want to make sure it'll cross with either my Granny Smith, my Fuji, or my Honey Crisp. Oh, and I forgot, I have another apple tree called a Pink Lady. I have one Pink Lady. And my favorite out of all the peaches, if you want a real early peach, Alberta. Alberta. You said Pink Lady and Honey Crisp is uh okay. I think you're saying that they will cross or they're good. Okay. That yeah, yes. Same here. When yeah, okay, yeah. Including work, a lot of hours, staying there. Okay, yeah. You've been there. You've been there. You've been there. Mr. Thomas, you've been there. Let's see. I have both. Oh, you got both of them, Honey Crisp and Pink Lady. So that means that they cross. If you got them on the same tree. Oh, let me ask you, the good people, this. Here's where I'm at, right? When I go to buy these dwarf fruit trees, they're expensive. They're telling me, with the information I'm reading, and also that a standard, and let's say you cut a branch off of a pink lady, put it in the ground, get it to root, whatever, you get it to root, it starts growing. It'll take it longer to fruit than with a dwarf tree. It'll take it longer to fruit. It'll take a standard tree what I read, 4 to 7 years before it fruits. A standard tree. Now, I don't have a problem with a standard tree, you actually being able to keep it small because you can keep it small. Um, you can definitely keep cutting and cutting and clipping and keep that tree small. Keep it down, and you can keep it at 5 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet, and it'll stay there if you keep it pruning. If you keep pruning it, let's see. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Les Farmer, you said the two. I say no, they do not cross. I added a yellow delicious to pollinate them. Them both. You talking about the pink lady and the honey crisp? They don't pop. They don't cross. Now that is absolutely true. The I made a mistake. I had a tree called a what they call that tree? God darn it! Yeah, it's a crab apple. And instead of me keeping the crab apple, I cut it down. I cut down both crab apples because I got ticked off because they sold me some crap, um, and I cut them down, and I should have kept them. My neighbor said keep the trees, and I said no, I'm gonna cut them down and put in, and I wasn't thinking that the crab apple would have crossed with everything in my on my property. Most trees help each other, but delicious blooms. Uh, Columbus, both right. Okay, I got you. I got you. Like a crab apple. Okay, I got you. You the crab apple. Oh, hello. How you doing? Oh, I remember this young lady. She has a show on. It periodically comes on. It comes on. It's good information. It's beautiful Nest TV. A beautiful Nest TV. Beautiful Nest TV. That show comes on, I watch it, and if you hit her up, she will answer your questions. She will do that, or just be there and be a good host. So that show to also tune into as well. Um, I'm telling everyone about we're talking about apple trees, and I'm just thinking, wow. I'm just thinking, wow. I can hardly believe that. Okay, here's what we're going to find out today, folks. Honeycrisp apple tree, Granny Smith, Fuji, Pink Lady, great pollinators for all those trees will cross. But what I'm getting at is that when you talk about um, crab apples, I remember having those, but they were sold to me as actual apple trees, and found out later that they were not apple trees; they were crab apples. They grew a nice little tasty little tiny little apple. I have had a lot of success with apple trees. They grow beautiful. I put them in the ground; they just grow. Um, and right now, I'm dealing with a situation whereby all of my trees are just doing great. They're beautiful. They're strong. I showed you in some of my videos the best way that I found to fertilize these trees, and they are doing just absolutely great. Um, they are producing tons and tons of blossoms when it comes time to blossom up, and I'm happy about that. So we're gonna keep on doing what we're doing. On that note, almost time to go to work, And I really don't feel like it today, but I'm gonna do it. I got the cat here. He begging for food. He always begging for food. So I gotta feed him and the rest of the family. So you know how that is. Most successful thing in the yard is growing right now is the peaches. Lots and lots and lots of peaches. My plum trees are doing quite well. Stanley plums is the ones I grow. Also, I grow one called a Santa Rose. Some of you are familiar with it. Some of you may actually have a Santa Rose plum tree. But good fruit. You must grow fruit because it's too expensive in the grocery stores to keep buying uh, this expensive fruit that doesn't have any kind of quality to it. Mr. Lead Farmer 73, if you get another opportunity, make another video on where you quote prices and saving costs in the garden because I got to tell you that was pretty good. I looked at it. I said somebody else is saying it now. I said I like that. Um, the cost when I first started gardening, I used to spend money on everything. I mean, just buying stuff. And I thought, you have a successful garden, I got to buy this, I got to buy that, And I learned later on that what made a successful garden is finding out what your plants need. And the one key thing that you're going to grow in your garden, which a lot of gardeners miss when they first start out, is growing soil. I got to say this, folks, without sounding like I'm bragging or anything like that, but I have some of the prettiest soil that I've seen in a very long time. And it all came from something that didn't cost anything, anything at all. And that is weeds and grass clippings. Chop and drop. That's what it came from. And now I put things in the ground. Like I went out there today, I put onions in there maybe about 4 days ago. Uh, and now they're all, they just growing crazy. They call snowball onions. They were at the store. I'm not paying what they were asking for. And when they brought the price down, there was a gentleman there. I think his name was, it doesn't matter. But he said they're $1 a box. I grabbed up one box. I should have grabbed 3 boxes, 4 boxes. And in that way, I could have put them in all around in my tiny little raised bed and had them everywhere. Because if you leave onions in the ground, they will grow, they will create seeds, drop, and then you got onions forever. And that's what don't think I like about onions. Another thing I do with onions, here's what I'm gonna drop at you. I cut my onions, I cut the bottom of the onion off where the root base is. About that much I leave on there. I take them out, open the soil, drop, close. And guess what? Yellow onions forever. Yellow onions forever. You grow the onions, you eat the scapes if you want. You also grow the onions. They drop the seeds. You got more onions coming up. Bada boom, bada bang. You just a happy rabbit. You're just happy because the onions. You're not only getting the onions from the grocery store, but when you cut that bottom off, you start growing more onions, and you can't beat that. You can do the same thing with garlic. You can do the same thing with what's the other thing? You can do it with a ton of stuff that comes from the grocery store. There's a tons of videos out there on it. You're saving money. You're beating the system at their own game. And the name of the game is this: you're not growing a garden for fun, for a hobby. A lot of us are growing that stuff for health and for survival. Because with our government is very dysfunctional. And we need to grow and take care of ourselves as much as possible because they don't know what they're doing and they don't know how we're going to eat. And they don't have no ear to listen to none of us anyway. So, so let's just do that. Grow as much food as you possibly can. That's the key. Grow as much food as you possibly can. Number 2, keep the cost down. Keep the cost down. Like the old people did back in the day. They grew their gardens with what they had. There was no big box stores to go to. There was no organic bags of stuff to buy. When I was telling people that your garden will supply a lot of what you need, I'm talking about like Lit Farmer 73. He was talking once about he uses things from his garden, pieces of wood. He uses compost and things like that. And so when you do that, when the leaves drop from the trees, you don't rake them up and put them on a curb. And because here in Maryland, what they do is they collect all the leaves, they take them to a plant. They take them to a plant. They ground them up. They cook them with heat, and they kind of clean out the impurities that's in them. They put them in bags and they sell them right back to us for $4 and some change per bag. And they got all the materials free. Not only did they get the materials free, you bagged it up for them. And when it got to their plant, they separated everything. They grind it up, like I said, and it's called soil conditioning. Right here in Maryland. Read the bag, it'll say produced right here in Maryland. So the thing about it is you can make your own soil conditioner. You can make your own. My neighbor trimmed down his tree. I had about 90 pounds of some kind of branches out there. And I went over there, I asked him, I said, what are you going to do with those? He said, I'm going to throw them away. And I said, can I have them? He said, sure. Now, of course, he got that look where he's looking at me like, this man is crazy. But I grabbed the branches up, brought them over, put them in a pile neatly. I put my compost over top of them. I covered them with some topsoil, some compost. I stuck some seeds down in the top of them, which was cucumbers, watered them in. So it's serving as a place where I planted my cucumbers. So I'm using that space for two things. One, producing compost. Two, also I'm producing food right there in that exact same spot. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. It's gonna produce some of the biggest and the prettiest and the best tasting cucumbers you could ever want because they have an ample food supply. The compost pile is going to stay incredibly warm because it's breaking down the tree branches that are underneath and everything. And it's full of worms, so that's a plus. So I did that and shot a few videos of it. It's out there. So always remember to use the stuff from your garden. When you see the weeds growing out, stop looking at them and say, "Oh God, these weeds! Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with these weeds? I hate these weeds. They're everywhere. Oh, let me go to the store and buy a $15 bottle of stuff to spray on them that could possibly kill my garden. But I got to do something because these weeds are driving me crazy. I don't do that anymore. What I do is I take the weeds, chop and drop, and it creates the prettiest black soil you ever want to see. Now, I also think that this year, when I go fishing, when I get my fishing done, I won't have to buy any worms because I was hitting holes that was 12 inches across, 12 and a half inches across, that was so full of worms that if I did that like 3 times, I would have 2 or 3 dozen worms. And that's all you need to go fishing with, for a few hours of relaxation. You bring the fish home, you put them in a plate, some panfish like some crappie, some bluegill, some white perch, whatever, and you put them in a plate, you fry them up nice and hard, you season them up real good, and then you put your macaroni and cheese there that's baked in the oven. You put your collard greens on one end of the plate that you grew from your garden, and you put a small cup of iced tea in front of you. Please. I love that kind of eating because the food is incredible. The fish will be fresh. The collard greens will be fresh and grown right from your garden, completely 100% organic. Come on. That's how you get it done. Man, I tell you, look, man, I'm just saying, you load up a plate with some crappie. You load up a plate with some crappie and you got a special meal. You just sit there and just eat. I like them when they fried hard. That's just me. I like them fried hard. And then I just go ahead and I just dive in. And the macaroni and cheese and the collard greens. I like to cook the collard greens southern style. They're not all that healthy for you, but you get a little bit of bacon, you got the garlic, you got the onions in there. You're cooking all this with the chicken broth, and you're cooking that up, and then you put the collard greens in there. After you clean them real good, you put them in there, and you cut them up to the size you want, and just cook those suckers real nice, please. I like to mix them with half collard green and half kale. Excuse me, I'm drooling a little bit. So anyway, on that note, folks, I'm going to head on up the hill because I got to get ready for work. I hate to go because I got a good number of people in here. I don't get that many people in my room, but I do get some, and I'm happy about that. Um, there's a gentleman back online. He just did a video called Garden Revel. Garden Revel is out there. Go check him out. He's just moved into his new place, and he's breaking ground in brand new soil. But I'm gonna tell you something, folks. I respect that man, but he tills. He tills, and I don't till. And tilling is brutal on the soil. But some people still like it because that's the way they learn, and I respect that. I don't till personally myself. I just don't till. You look at all of my garden videos for the last 4 years, you won't see me. No, longer than that, actually. You will not. I sold my tiller. I had a beautiful Craftsman 5.5 horsepower tiller. I went on Craigslist. I put it for an incredibly cheap price, and it was gone the next day. The guys, Hispanic guys, came up and said, and I just went ahead, pulled a hammer one time, and it cranked up because I kept the oil and everything changed in it, spark plugs fresh, and they grabbed it and stuck it in the trunk and left. And I counted my money first, and then they said, "Okay, thank you," and they left. Um, the only thing I don't like about selling on Craigslist is they bring other people with them. Cause one guy, he came here, he bought some tires from me for his tiller. I was selling some tires, beautiful brand new tires. Um, and he came and bought them. I sold them deep, dirt cheap. But when he came, he kept talking and talking and talking, and he kept talking and talking. I said, "Wait, what is this guy up to?" Okay, I got the money. He got the tires. It's going in 45 minutes now. This guy's still talking. I said, "What was he asking me? How long you been living around here?" So how long you been? And I'm saying, "Sir, look, I got listen, bro. It's been fun, but I gotta go." And I had to go because he was staying too long. Let's see. Go ahead. Um, yep, exactly, yep. That's it. East side. What? All right, Lynn Farmer, 73. Oh my goodness. Talk about food, man. My goodness. Catch those fish. Don't pay uh, almost $200 for crabs this year. Go out and get them yourself. They are easy to get. A couple chicken necks and chicken backs or whatever. Go out there and get your couple of traps early in the morning when it start breaking daylight. Go get your crab and head on home and steam them up. And here in Maryland, the crab licenses for residents are $5 for the whole year. That allows you to get up to 2 bushels per day per person. If you don't have a license, you're only entitled to two dozen hard shell male crabs. Male crabs only what you can get with residential license anyway, but you can get up to 2 bushels if you have um, the uh, the $5 license. Yeah. Look at this big animal, y'all. I'm just gonna do this one time. I know, brother. I know. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. See the people out there? You are crazy. This cat is crazy as all the way, but he's a good animal. All right, there you go. I got bored, so I picked him up and read out of things to say. He's a good animal though. He's a good animal, real good animal. Found him outside. Somebody was trying to kill him when I found him. I woke up early in the morning. They were trying to drown him in a bucket of water or something. And I said, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? He said, cat shouldn't have been on my property. And I said, no. I said, no, wait a minute. I'll come get him. I said, I'll come get him. So I came over there and wrapped him in a towel and took him to my property, and he's been here ever since. Yeah, he's a good little kitty. Good little kitty. It's the first time he's been on camera, on live stream. He's kind of nervous. All right, good people. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I gotta get dressed and get cleaned up and go to work. But thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yes, nice little cat. Um, but I want to thank you all, and remember my old saying: keep on growing. This has been the Morning Gardener. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.